Hi friends, today I'm going to talk about Peter Drucker and his very famous theory, which is the management theory. Okay, let me give you all a brief introduction about Peter Drucker, which is, he was born in 1909 and he left his death mark on 2005. Alright, as we can see, Peter Drucker is one of the main leading with the knowledge and one of the greatest men found because of his introduction towards the management theory, which was very famous, which is MBO. Right, MBO means management by objectives, which I will be explaining in my next slide. Alright, I'm not going to express much on the introduction of Peter Drucker, as we all can Google that information. Hence, I'm going to proceed to the main management theories of Peter Drucker. Alright, there were 4 management theories of Peter Drucker. The first is decentralization. Second is MBO, which I mentioned earlier, which is also known as management by objectives. The third is SMART method, and the fourth is knowledge worker. Alright, all of these management theories I've already stated in my slide over here, so you guys can just take a look at the slide. Alright, I'm going to explain briefly about each and every point of this management theory. Alright, and let's start with the first management theory, which is decentralization. Alright, first of all, you should understand what's the meaning of decentralization. Alright, Peter Drucker invented this management theory because he found that most of the company or organizations were indulgent with centralization. Right. What do I mean by centralization is where the CEO or the manager or even the top management of a certain company or organization holds autocratic power towards the employee. It means where they have a diverse control, which only they have power to move each and every employee. Hence, this was not too lenient to the employees. So when Peter Drucker actually introduced the management theory decentralization, he was able to create more uniqueness and fairness in an organization. Alright, this is because once decentralization has been implemented, flow managers, department managers, and also general managers are being appointed. So when these managers are being appointed, the power and also decision making is shared among each and every employee, right? So this is what is decentralization. Okay, the second theory is management by objective. Okay, what do I mean by management by objectives is this theory was one of the most famous theory, and everyone remembers this theory because of Peter Drucker. Okay, management by objectives is actually a theory where the top employee or top management works very closely with their employee, which is maybe assistant worker or something. He doesn't have to have any post. Work very closely in order to achieve the objective, aim, and also vision of the certain company or organization. Okay, this is because they work closely and they have a good teamwork, having in mind just one aim, to achieve the company or even organization's objective. That is what's meant by management by objectives. Alright, hence management by objectives were also implemented because in order to decrease the gap between top management and middle management employees. Alright, and this is a very important theory, and there's a lot of explanation about this theory. And if you are looking forward for more information, you can just Google it and find out about more about this theory through your research. Alright, the next theory I'll be talking about is the SMART method. Okay, the SMART method. The SMART method involves the process of increasing the values and also ideas, such as being time realistic, okay, time realistic in terms of contract, meaning if a certain organization has a contract, they have to have the time sense, time realistic in terms of how long do they have to complete the contract, what do they need to complete the contract, and also how early do they need to start their work progress in order to finish in the certain time given. Alright, and also you need to be have good teamwork in the organization. That is what is making a smart method. It means that you work smart also, but at the same time you do not work too smart where you neglect your job. Alright, so that's about smart method. Now I'm going to take you on to the last theory, which is knowledge worker. Okay, this management theory, alright, knowledge worker, is a very important theory. Alright, why do I say it's a very important theory? It's simple. Knowledge workers means, for example, let me give you a very precise example. If you want to build a building, you have to find an architect because he specializes in building, an architect in designing the blind spots of a building, right? Hence, you can't find an accountant for a building, right? So, same goes when you are developing an organization. For the account department, you have to find an accountant, and also for the HR department, you have to find a human resource specialist. So, knowledge workers is a very important theory because you need to hire and also employ the workers who have the who specialize in a specific occupation and also have the expertise to deliver their knowledge and experience in that specific field to enable them to give their best contribution to the company or organization. Knowledge workers will only give a good reputation and also give a good demand to the organization. That is why this theory is very important. Alright guys, I have explained all my management theories. I hope you guys have if you have any questions, you can just leave a comment, and also you guys can explore more about this theory in the internet if you find it too less. Alright, so thank you for me.
Okay, so I will continue presentation about Drucker. So the application of the management theory. What is about the application of management theory? There is the endless way to exercise management by objective. One must simply find specific goals to aim for in an organization or a business in order to ensure the business running well. Many noteworthy companies have used the MBO because it is much reliable and suitable for them. So the management of at the company, for example, we take from Hewlett Packard HP, that computer that have in a major market, so say that it is considered policy as a considerable component of its success. Objective can be set in all domains of activity such as production, HR, service, sales, R&D, and another department. So some objectives are collective and some can be goals for each individual worker. Both make the task at hand seem attainable and enable the worker to visualize what needs to be done and how. So as you can see, there are 5 steps of MBO, of the application of the MBO. So firstly is about reviewing organizational objective. In the MBO paradigm, manager determine the mission and the strategic goal of the enterprise. Reviewing the corporate purpose is the first step in MBO. The goals set by the top level manager are based on the analysis or what can and should be accomplished by the organization within a specific period of time. The manager also would request the worker or employee at some point of a set of his or her own goal to ensure there is always a win-win situation that's taking place. So second is about setting employee objective. The function of this manager can be centralized by appointing a project manager who can monitor and control activity of the various departments. The manager needs to set the employee goal or objective to ensure of the best outcome. If this cannot be done or is not desirable, each manager contribution of the organization goal should be clearly spelled out because there are enough issue of that. So the third step is about monitoring. After reviewing corporate objective and set employee objective, the manager should monitor if everything is going as planned and systematically. This is to ensure that there is no mistake um, that have been made by them. So the management level of the organization will be able to increase drastically in terms of performance and the progressiveness when the elements are present. So the next is about the evaluation. We not to forget, but just employee needs that they need we as a manager that needs to evaluate from time to time to maintain and sustain their performance level and improvise in dimension which need that need will improvise continuously. When the approach is not adequately set, create and managed by organization, self-centered employee might be prone to distort result, falsely representing the achievement of target that were placed in the short time narrow fashion. In this case, managing by auditing would be counterproductive. So the last step is about reward. That it is not need to be conducted one by one successfully hit the goal. Hence, to ensure the progress is completely well, the final step in MBO is the reward. Reward should be given to the employee fairly and equally based on their performance level. That, as we know, we contribute performance based what the how the about how their performance in what they are making, for example in sales, in human resource, in production. So reward should be given to employee fairly and equally. This is important part of the rewards. Okay, so as we know that MBO is continuously from step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and it continuously repeat. So next is about the contribution or the benefit of the management theory in a given organization, irrespective of the type of the MBO strategy. It is merely a mechanism that increase manager commitment to the outcome, encourage team leaders to commit to their particular accomplishment, and make it easier for them to think about the potential need of the company and to set a target to fulfill the need. The MBO approach will also provide manager for the measurement of 3 of the resources that they need to make effective use of the most massive supply of their business. So as you can see, there are 5 of the benefit of our contribution of a management theory. First is about improve performance, improve organizational structure, result-based performance evaluation, improve communication, and the last is about device for organization and control. So for the improved performance, MBO lead to the better management and improved performance. Better management involves identifying and ensure the achievement of goal for each operation and individual. MBO not only help to set the goal, but also ensure that the priorities and resources are balanced. Better and result-oriented planning is essential for setting goals. Project management requires administrators not just to schedule tasks and jobs, but to worry about the planning outcome. So Peter Drucker said that the efficiency is doing the right thing, effectiveness is doing the right thing. So second is about improved organizational structure. As in an MBO, a modification of the job requires of various employees. As a result of reset the employee goal will be update the entire organizational structure. This helps to strengthen the structure of the organization as a result of the problem and the organization weak area. So quotes by the Peter Drucker: management is about the human being. It tasks it to make a people capable of joint performance, to make their strengths effective and their weakness irrelevant. So third is about result-based evaluation, performance evaluation. The annual performance appraisal program allows the workers to know how well they do the job. Measurable and quantifiable goals are strongly emphasized in MBO. So the assessment is more rational and fair. So since the evaluation method are based on the performance and not on other intangible attributes, the evaluation method of the characters are considered by us superior. So Peter Drucker said in the book, said in the essential Peter Drucker quotes, a manager is responsible for the application and performance of knowledge. So the fourth is improved communication. Through MBO, the management and the subordinate interact easier. This ongoing two-way communication. Any ambiguity can be explained, processed, or prioritized and refined. So Drucker said that the most important thing in communication is to hear what is not being said. So the lastly is about device for organization control. We will act as a monitoring and management tool for organizational activity. When inconsistent between current result and target are found, they can be detected, reviewed, and corrected repeatedly and systematically. So about criticism of the management theory by Peter Drucker, MBO can be exploited quickly and is regularly. Why should be the system which allow for dialogue and growth between manager and subordinate, which a view to achieving the finding often degenerate into a system in which a manager can continue manager continually put pressure on the subordinate to produce a good result. Often, even well-intended administrators use MBO because of the lack of interpersonal skill or experience to prevent crucial timeout in their evaluation session. So, based on Kotler quote, management by objective work. If you know the objective, 90% of the time you do not know. So there are 5 lists of the criticism of the Peter Drucker theory, that is MBO. So firstly is about lack of support from the top management. The authority is the top management of well-known organization and flow from top to bottom. The MBO offers subordinate a level playing field that is displayed by the top management. Without the full help from the board and top management, so this program cannot be worked. Okay, so Stephen R. Covey said that management efficiency is in climbing the ladder of success. Leadership determines whether the ladder is leaning against the right wall. So the second is about the difficulty in quantifying the goal and objective. If the target can be quantified, it will be the MBO success. Nonetheless, it will be hard to determine the performance of the worker if the areas are difficult to measure and difficult to analyze. Therefore, MBO has no performance evaluation subjectively. It just pays the efficiency without taking an ingenuity of the workers into account. So, Peter Drucker said that so much of what we call management consists in making it difficult of the people to work. So third is about emphasis on short-term goal. Under MBO, goal can be set for a limit time, such for example 6 to 1 year. This is why long-term planning is difficult to accomplish because of the quantitative aspect of the objective. When the subordinate performance is to be measured every 6 or 1 year, it prefers to focus on the immediate goal without considering the company long-term objective. This emphasis on short-term objective run counter to organizational effectiveness and productiveness, and it is not a positive indication. So the fourth is about inflexibility. The organization should make MBO stiff as the target are set. For example, every 6 months, 1 year, when the appropriate, the manager may not want to revisit the objective because of a fear of subordinate resistance. Manager need to know how to deal with this situation, as short-term goal often need to be revised to achieve long-term goal. So the lastly is about lack of follow-up. In the MBO system, the supervisor did contact the subordinate at the proper time, and the assistant must tell the boss precisely what was done and how. If the higher delay the meeting, the successful implementation of the MBO will be hampered as a more upper subordinate must start the program. So in conclusion, management efficiency by goals depend on a very great extent on how objectives are set. For example, the goal needs to be precise and observable. The purpose state as a temporal item, target clearly and unequivocally. All expectations need to be result oriented, and the strategy and priorities of the company need to be accepted. Target management is nothing more than a compelling opportunity for managers who convince them to restore their primary role, that of strategic development and implementer. The MBO is the way that the modern manager can be very efficient and successful organization that have excellent opportunity for growth. So by putting into the practice of this MBO method, the managerial system of the object organizational become more stable, being updated annually when they resume the MBO cycle. Quantitative management is a management style focused on subordinate engagement, which allow them to play a role in decision making.